ever get dark? Did it ever go into the hard?
Of course it gets dark. Oh yes, I mean when you're working together, the 4 guys. I mean we were together, and up until the time I left, which was in 2001. Sorry, it was 91. Sorry.
91.
Sorry. Okay. Oh. Get back.
Maybe there was a secret reunion.
Yes, maybe you don't know that.
Yeah.
In 91. We've been together 25 years. Now for a band with the same 4 members, we were together 25 years. To that point, we were the only band going that had the same lineup for 25 years. People have got past us now, U2 and people like that have got the same lineup longer than we did. But at that point, we were the band that had survived the longest. I mean, 25 years is a long time, the same old guy.
Yeah, but
so obviously you're going to have...
Greatest songs as well, Nod.
Pardon?
Greatest songs as well. Banger Man, Thanks for the Memory, Far, Far Away, How Does It Feel? Come on. You love them all. You love them all.
I like him. He's calm down. We had... and I mean, it's a long time. For 25 years, 4 guys to be in the studio, to be on the road, to live in one of those pockets 24 hours a day. There's going to be some frictions. Because we've grown up in the same area, we have the same sense of humour. We had a great time on the road. We had a great time. But there's going to be frictions. It's impossible not to. Every band on the planet has frictions. I know bands, some of the biggest bands, who don't even see one another ever all the time they're on the stage. They travel in separate cars, they travel in separate planes, they stay in separate hotels. The only time they meet up, separate dressing rooms, only time they meet up is on the stage. And never again. We were like that. You know, this was a band, and our whole crew the same. We were a travelling circus. We all knocked around together, we had a laugh together. But not all the time, because obviously, there's going to be frictions all across the board with the crew and everybody. Because you can't be on the road for a year and not have fallouts. It's just impossible. And I would say probably, from a point of view of me and Don were probably the rock and roll animals. You know, Jim didn't like that lifestyle. He didn't like the front of the showbiz. He didn't like, particularly in those days, being on the road all the time and that. He was like the creative one. He was classical music trained. So, you know, that was his bag. He certainly wasn't a rock and roll animal at all. But he was part of the jigsaw. You've got to have the jigsaw to make a great band. And so that's what Slade was all about, you know. It was 25% each person. And although me and Jim did the writing, Don and Dave did their part of the jigsaw. You take that one part of the jigsaw away and it's not the same anymore.
Do you think they felt that as well? Because you know that.
Of course they knew it, yes.
Yeah, because it's hard if they're not in the limelight.
Oh no, of course they knew it, yes. But it's a thing that happens then as years go on, that as you get older and you have families and stuff like that, your priorities change and the dynamics change, the egos in the band change. 25 years, it's gone on. Don't know how it happens in bands, it happens in any business anybody's in. Or in a marriage, or in whatever business you're in. The dynamics are going to change and people, it's not like when the 4 blokes starting out as a gang and you've all got the same, that dot in the future is what you're aiming for, that hit record and that career together. That all changes once you've had it. And then you have to cope with the changes then. And it's hard. It doesn't get easier, it gets harder. And that's what a lot of new artists don't understand, that they think, these kids I see now going on X Factor and all this thing, they think they're going to get immediately they're going to make $1 million overnight and they're going to go and buy their mum and dad a big mansion and all this sort of thing. It don't happen. It don't happen. Even today, it don't happen. And what frightens me is they're not prepared for what comes a year later. They might win X Factor, but they still haven't got a pot to piss in at the end of